Let's go ahead and check in with Alan Lay as he's hanging out in Steamboat. And Alan, you got quite a bit of snow up that way, huh?
Brittany, we have this week for sure. And the big news this week out of the Steamboat Resort is that the season has been extended 1 week and is now scheduled to close on Sunday, April 16th. This season's historic snowfall played a large role in this decision. Skiers and riders now have an extra week to get those final turns of the season in. As of this report, the Steamboat Resort has 21 of 21 lifts open, supporting a base of 72 inches at mid-mountain and 102 inches at the summit, with all 171 trails open. Always be sure to check out steamboat.com for the most up-to-date conditions, including trail and lift information. This is a reminder that if you'd like to participate in the Reps Bowling Against Bullies fundraiser here in Steamboat, it's Friday, March 10th, and teams of up to 6 people can register. The event is set up on Eventbrite, and you can find that from their link tree, which is also available on their Facebook page. Bowling Against Bullies will help raise money for the youth programs that Rep supports, like the Youth Ambassador Program. These programs are dedicated to raising awareness of the impacts of bullying and decreasing incidents of suicide through education about mental health and providing our youth with the tools that instill courage and inspire growth of empathetic communities. Winter Wondergrass Steamboat 2023 is March 3rd through March 5th, and while the event begins on Friday, there is a free concert on the Steamboat Square stage featuring Trout Steak Revival on Thursday, March 2nd at 2:15 p.m. I had the opportunity to talk to Winter Wondergrass founder Scotty Stoughton about the 10th anniversary of the festival and what we have to look forward to at this year's event. Scott, thanks for joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So nice to be here. Getting excited.
10th anniversary of the Colorado Winter Wondergrass here in Steamboat Springs. How exciting is that?
It's pretty wild. It's a great time to reflect on what we've done to get here and all the memories and friendships and relationships we've made along the way. So it feels really good, and excited to do our best up there in Steamboat.
You know, aside from all the regulars, who are some of the other acts that we're looking forward to this year?
We've got 10 new acts. And so we've got some great new up-and-comers and some out-of-the-box outliers. Everybody from Paul Coffin, they'll be on site to add a little juice in between the strings. A new good friend, John Mylander, is going to be in town. He's out with Bruce Hornsby mostly. He recorded a lot with Billy Strings on his records. Kitchen Dwellers, a band I've really gotten to know lately. So excited about everyone that's coming back and excited about the new ones.
Well, and speaking of coming back, I saw the Old Town Pickers here in Steamboat have gotten back together. They got the band back together for Winter Wondergrass.
To have them back is super cool. I just need to make sure they're dressed to impress like they used to back in the day, because that was a cool part of honoring the tradition of bluegrass. Deliver. So that's exciting.
And then, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the hometown favorite Buffalo Commons, who are once again part of the lineup. They've really had a tremendous year with their album release that they recorded after last year's festival.
I'm really proud of those guys, and I've been around them for quite some time. And when they came out, they had the energy. And so this is an exciting year because they're going to open the main stage on Saturday. They've never played the main stage before. It's time, putting their heart and soul into the music and doing it authentically and really delivering show after show. And that's not an easy feat.
Folks, Winter Wondergrass 2023, March 3rd through the 5th, right here in Steamboat Springs. Scott, again, thank you for your time and really looking forward to this year's event.
Yeah, we are too. Excited to roll out some bigger tents, some more heat, some really cool ideas, some brand new things on site this year that people are going to be really excited about. And we're just going to honor each and every person that's been with us since the beginning, because we're real humble and real proud and real thankful.
Now, a limited number of tickets are still available, but don't delay or you'll miss out on this year's festival. And you may not have been able to tell, but Scotty was actually in Baja, Mexico when we spoke. He was down there laying the groundwork for Baja Wondergrass. So be on the lookout, as Scotty is always working on something. Finally, this week, if you've been to the Steamboat Resort, you've undoubtedly seen Powder, the official mascot of the Steamboat Resort. I caught up with Duncan Draper, Powder's owner, to talk about what it's like being such an iconic figure here at the resort.
Good morning, Duncan.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us this morning. You and Powder are pretty much the hit here this morning at the gondola.
You know, Powder's been up on the mountain since she was a puppy, and people are definitely drawn to her. So she definitely has a recognizable factor that is kind of overwhelming at times. And she does pretty good. She's had about 2,000 hands on her this morning.
I can verify that.
Yeah, so she's had a big morning. We'll get her back out in a bit. She turned 6 on January 10th, I believe.
Okay. And she is not, contrary to what some folks think, she's not a service dog. She's more of an
No.
ambassador.
She is not a service dog. Powder's job is to wiggle and look cute.
And she does a fine job at that.
And then everybody comes over to say hi to her. And I get a chance to reiterate to people parts of the skier safety code. Always stopping where you can be seen, looking up the hill before you go, and don't run into anything. It's always your responsibility as the uphill skier or rider to avoid anything that may be downhill of you. So sometimes we miss the opportunity to get those points out to people.
Sure.
And Powder gives us a good chance to help bridge that gap. I've been fortunate enough to be working for the mountain for 30 years and having the opportunity to impact people's vacations in a positive way is always a great, great thing. And it gives you a wonderful feeling when you get to go home at the end of the day.
You're just doing a great job. You're a great ambassador for Steamboat Resort. Now, the resort does have 2 new dogs that are actually.
So we have Mud, who is about 3 months old, and one of the coolest dogs going. And then we've got Daisy as well. And those are our 2 Abbey dogs at this point that are in training. And, they bring them up in the mornings on the 7 o'clock, 7:30 Gandhi ride. They hang out with us all day. They get a little interaction, but not as much as Powder. They come up and train during the day.
Okay.
And we try to put them in scenarios and continue them with their training so that if that time comes when they're needed to assist, they're on board and ready to go.
Outstanding. Great additions to the team here at Steamboat Resort. Folks, if you are out at the Steamboat Resort, you happen to see Duncan, you happen to see Powder, proceed with caution. Don't overwhelm her. But she is just sweet as the day is long, loves to be pet, loves to give kisses, but just, be respectful, be mindful, don't overwhelm her, but be sure to stop by and say hi. Duncan, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
I was surprised to meet Aaliyah Homan and her parents, Kelly and Kevin, who made the trip up to the gondola simply to visit Powder. Aaliyah is a kindergartner here in Steamboat Springs, and her sheer joy is what makes it all worth it for Duncan. Aaliyah had a list of questions for Duncan about Powder, and he was very happy to take the time to speak to her. They also discovered during their chat that Duncan's grandson, Dakota, is a classmate of Aaliyah's, so I'm sure Dakota had plenty to talk about the next day in school. Please be sure to stop by and say hi to Powder the next time you're up at the Thunderhead Lodge. That's what's going on here in Steamboat Springs, Brittany. Back to you in the studio.
Seriously stole my heart with that Powder story, Alan. Cuteness overload. Hey, if Powder has a fan club, count me in.
For sure. The kids walking by and is what it's all about.
Seriously. Thanks so much again for the update, Alan.